In March, we will be hosting Sandra Johnson. She will be talking about her denim quilts. She will be hosting 2 workshops, repurposing denim into a quilt and a quilted bomber jacket. And the scholarships for these 2 workshops are currently open. On February 13th, the scholarships will close, and on the 15th at 6 p.m., the workshops will go on sale. In April, Tara Fawnin will be with us via Zoom. Her lecture is titled Color and Design and will highlight her approaches to the creative process. She will also be hosting 2 workshops, one on color interaction and the other on her diamond log cabin. And more information about when scholarships and when those workshops will go on sale will be available next month. And in May, we will be featuring Pantera St. Montaigne. She will be giving a lecture on her creative journey, screen printing and block printing. Her block printing workshop will be hands-on, and you will get to learn how to block print from Pantera. So I wanted to mention that Trisha's applique tour workshop is this weekend. It's currently sold out, but if you do put your name on the wait list, we will possibly rebook her for a March and April workshop via Zoom. It would be the same applique tour workshop. And if you are on the wait list, you will be the first to hear about a new class. So if you're interested, feel free to check out. It's in the events section of the Guild website is where you can find the wait list. And with that, we are going to hear from Kimberly, our Sisters Coordinator. So Kimberly, if you are here, could you please unmute?
I'm here.
Okay. And we would love to see you too, if you can turn on your video.
Hopefully you can see me. I think it's on.
I'm going to.
I'll just speak. I'm thinking you can see me. So I just wanted to address this year our theme for the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show. As you may or may not be aware, we have a special exhibit each year for of our guild, and we tend to kind of have at least a jumping off point, with last year being, you know what last year was. And so, you know, the outdoor show ended up being this semi virtual sort of hashtag your quilt sort of thing. But I'm hearing from the team at Sisters that they're pretty adamant that they're gonna make whatever accommodations they need to make it happen in real life this year. So given that, this year's theme is renewal, and this is actually the theme of the overall quilt show. So we've decided to pretty much adopt that same theme. So if we could go to the next slide, I just have for you a few examples of after a year like last year, it's time for, we're skipping through. Let's go back. Maybe like, oh no, we're going forward. Okay, there we go. Stop right there. Okay. Okay, so these are a few examples. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is an example of a quilt literally called Renewal Quilt, and this is a Fawns and Porter quilt. And so you can imagine, I mean, just even taking this as a jumping off point. This looks very traditional to some extent. There's maybe negative space that could be added here. Let's go to the next one. Yes, and
I am sorry,
just,
Kimberly. I am having problems.
It's okay. I'll blame it on Al Gore's internet. That seems to be the popular. Okay, and this one, okay, so as I did my Google, I found there's actually a Renew Quilt Along by Jittery Wings. So There are links here included as well, and we'll get those up on the website for you as well. But this is a quilt along. I believe it has been started, if I remember correctly. But yeah, this is a cool pattern. Okay, the next one. Okay, so this is kind of going now, let's be a little more conceptual. So you think about renewal in nature. Here we have, I'm thinking about this because I just did a little seed starting this year. So the sprouting. Okay, the next one. And we've seen examples of things like floral quilts. So, you know, maybe applique. This looks very literal, but how might we make that a little more abstract? Okay, let's go to the next one. References to time. So this to me made me think of those Memphis time patterns that we did back when we had Kimberly Kite here. And we had that workshop. So many of us may still have that little swatch watch style. That could be renewal. Next. Okay, this I mean, this is a whole topic. This is a whole area, and we as a guild tend to really, I think, do some phenomenal work in this area around social justice. So this is an example of just some applique for the Social Justice Sewing Academy. So if you participated in any way in any of those projects, you know, this is another example. Maybe this is what renewal means to you. Next. Okay, yeah, color. This is like vibrant color. I wanted to show this because I really like our president's quilting here. Anyway, sorry. Just color, you know, color could be that example of renewal. Are there others? Or is this the last one? Okay, yeah. So this is just kind of like a call out because I think we have shown ourselves to be extremely creative in terms of what we can come up with and what we can create for our special exhibit in Sisters each year. Do we? I didn't do a slide with like the deadlines, but perhaps, I don't know.
I have it. I have it, really.
Thank you.
Now I'm jumping ahead again. Okay. Thank you, Kimberly, so much for putting that together for us. It's
You bet.
very nice. So
Okay.
Chris, are you still there?
I can't hear you.
Kimberly, I saw a question in the chat just asking if Chris needs a second. Anne asked, can you briefly explain how this project with the Sisters show works for people who are new to the club? So maybe you could share just a bit about how someone could submit or how many quilts might be accepted. Just some general ideas would be awesome.
Yes, thank you for that question. I saw that pop up and didn't get to it. Okay, so for those of you that aren't aware, we definitely have a link on our website that will get you to more detail, but Sisters is this beautiful place here in Oregon. It's named after the 3 mountains. They're called the Sisters. I'm not from Oregon, so I can't, I'm doing my best. But it's beautiful. And so they have the world's largest outdoor quilt show there every year. And we have had our own special exhibit as a part of that. We have, as a part of our exhibit, we're allowed up to 25 entries. And so depending on how many submissions we receive, and again, you know, you're seeing, I believe you should be seeing this here on the slide as well on our website, additional information about, you know, here's the form, here are the additional details as we learn more about the accommodations they're making. Typically, we need volunteers, folks that'll be there and can talk to folks as they come through our exhibit and, you know, kind of want to talk and ask questions. So in terms of the quilts, There is a minimum size of 40 by 40 and a maximum of 102 inches on any one side. And that's because each exhibit, there's only a certain amount of space, which again is why we're limited to a number. If it were up to us, we'd take all of our quilts. So, and I also remind folks, and another thing to keep in mind, if for some reason you submit your quilt and we're unable to include you as a part of our special exhibit, you can still submit your quilt to Sisters. And many of us have done that as well. And, you know, they're great people. It's a fun show, and weather permitting, it may be a little warm, but I mean, it's, you know, yeah, great.
I think I'm back.
Okay. Yes,
Thank
we
you,
hear you.
Kimberly. I'm going to
You
stop my video, and hopefully that will help with my internet issues. So I apologize that you all are not able to see me, but I am going to get the slides going. One moment. And now, oh boy.
It's starting.
If you
Okay.
need me to screen share, I can do that for you,
Yes,
and then you
could
can
you
just
do that for me, because I am not
absolutely.
seeing my slides.
We aren't either. So let me get to where you were.
I thought I am screen sharing, but it looks like you're looking at my Google.
Yeah.
Hopefully we gave everyone a weather disclaimer. You know, we have some weather right now.
Yeah.
You know, and my computer has been really weird lately too. So, oh, here it is.
There you go.
Perfect. All right. So submit. I'm sure Kimberly did a great job saying that the submissions are open, and it doesn't need to be a new quilt. It can be anything that basically can be tied to our renewal theme. So it doesn't have to be new. So if you have a quilt that you think goes along with this theme, please submit it. Okay. And now we will hear from Susan about Pmqg labels.
Hi again. I just want to give a disclaimer. If I disappear in the middle of this, we lost power for an hour and a half earlier. It's really cold out. And my first thought was not about, I was like, well, I have plenty of quilts. So if we don't get power back, you know, we can stay cozy. But I was like, I can't miss Trisha, and my cell phone's on 20%. So I'm just happy to be here. And I hope our tech glitches are done for the night. I'm very happy that we're going to send out a special Pmqg quilt label to every 2021 Guild member that we have. If you're visiting tonight and you're having a nice time hearing from Trisha, and Trisha, thank you so much. It was really wonderful to have you. Thank you. She just mentioned in the chat she's taken off. We will be sending out quilt labels to members, and we would love to have you join us for the rest of 2021. We will be live casting or streaming every meeting that we have, and offering these options, including some accessibility upgrades like closed captioning and other ways that make our programming more accessible. We're really thankful that we've gotten new members from other states, from Canada, and internationally, and other countries too. So we want to say thank you to everyone who has stuck with us and joined us for the first time. And so we'll be sending out a special Pmqg quilt label to each person who's a paid member for 2021. Look for Happy Mail soon. I want to thank a couple of folks who made this happen. Erin Case, who's our current vice president, has been the Guild's board multiple times, designed these labels, and we had them printed with Spoonflower. And Renee, our wonderful two-term board member, not only cut all of these for us out of 8 yards of Spoonflower labels, but will be the one mailing them out to each member as a membership VP this year. We're excited to invite everyone to a special event on Thursday, March 11th, which will be our monthly Quilter Filter, and the topic will be on quilt labels. And we'll share tips on documenting, writing on your labels, which methods work well for writing clearly and easily on fabric. You know, it's a little trickier than your average piece of copy paper. So we have a few ideas to share that make that process less of a headache. different methods of sewing them on. We'd love to hear from you and ideas that you have to share, and just make it a real community event. And then we'll end with a show and tell of everyone's freshly labeled quilts with their Pmqg label that they've worked on together. So we'd be thrilled to see you there. A Quilter Filter is, Amanda, is a monthly event hosted by Robin Healy, where it's on an alternate Thursday from our meeting night. And we just have a different topic each time. And it's just a social time, conversational hangout, but also just exchanging ideas and, building our friendships within such a large group. It's really nice having these other opportunities besides the gigantic meetings. But we'd be thrilled to welcome you to that event, and we'll be sending out more reminders. Erin's been doing a beautiful weekly newsletter that shares more. But again, we'd love to welcome new members. If you're interested in joining and have any questions, please let us know. We'd be thrilled to have you. And then the other thing I'll mention with the labels is Renee will be in touch with anyone we need mailing addresses for, but just look for them as Happy Mail on the way, and we'll have them to you in advance of March 11th. And we'll also have a blog post up about labels. So if you can't join us live, we'll have plenty of options to help with our tips and tricks that make labeling your quilts more fun. Next slide would be great. Thank you. I'd also love to share our speaker last month in January, Jackie Gehring, described, for those of you who are lucky enough to attend last month, her Mend fabric collection with Michael Miller. And we were really, really appreciative of the opportunity to learn more about her inspirations for designing it, and her hopes that our country can truly mend from such a painful and difficult split. And her work has really illustrated that divide, and also hopefully steps forward. So Blue Bar Quilts, which is one of the shops that is selling her work, and thank you so much for putting the link in the chat, you're a wizard, is hosting an amazing challenge using the flag panel from Mend, which is the signature piece of the 3-piece collection. There's also a sashiko inspired, walking quilting inspired stars that you'll see as like an inset in the flag, and then red and white stripes. But this flag panel is sold individually, and you can order it from Blue Bar. They don't require that you buy it from them. If there's another shop there, I believe there are 5 or 6 carrying it nationwide, and we shared more information in our newsletter last week that Erin wrote. But that will also be a blog post coming soon, and Jackie has information on her website. But there is a contest going right now through April 30th, and you can enter a mini quilt. 30 inches is the maximum dimension. All the information is on Blue Bar Quilts, which is listed here as URL. But we would absolutely love to see Pmqg members' work represented. And a member has ordered 6 panels of the flag. And if you are interested but don't want to get yardage, or just want to be able to get a piece quickly, she has generously offered to ship them out to interested Pmqg members at her cost, including shipping, at just $5.50 each. And you can email our Pmqg, portlandmodernquiltguild@gmail.com, and I can connect you with this member. But she'd be able to ship them out quickly and locally. If I'm so sorry to be restrictive, but we're going to keep this to US addresses only because of shipping and customs and expense. But Canadian and international customers can buy directly from the shops who are carrying Jackie's collection. And it would be wonderful to see what you make as well. But if anyone's interested, please email, and I can connect you with a member and get you your individual panel for your contest entry. So the grand prize, as well as a gift certificate, includes a 30-minute consultation on Zoom with Jackie about all things quilting and sewing. So pretty spectacular. We'd love to continue supporting the collection. If anyone else has ideas for want to share your work, we'd love to highlight it on our social media. So thank you to everyone who was able to connect with and lift Jackie up last month. That was a really special event. And this contest that Blue Bar has created is another opportunity for us to really honor what Jackie's doing and her courageous stance, since the fabric collection is only carried in a few stores nationwide and none whatsoever in her own hometown of Kansas City. This is our chance to show her how much she means to us as an artist, and how much her courageous designs can come to life in our work. So thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And now we will hear from Ann Nelson about the PMQG virtual retreat coming up.
Hi, I'm new to the Guild, just joined in August, but Jenny McKee and I are planning a virtual retreat for this April 23rd through 25th. We'd like to invite you to come carve out a special weekend for yourself. There'll be plenty of open sewing time on Zoom. We have some demos planned with a couple of guest speakers. We're going to do a keepsake block challenge and have the charity quilt blocks like we've done in the past. And there will be some giveaways. We'll have registration available for everyone after March 1st. And the tentative cost for the online weekend, which is pretty reasonable deal, will be about $25. And if we have anything left over, we'll donate that to something Pmqg holds close to their heart. So if you have any questions, just email the Guild and they will get us the question and we'll get it answered. And I think that's all that I have.
Thank you, Anne. Can we get the next slide? Okay, so the free table is canceled for February, but I wanted to announce that it will be coming to Hillsborough in March. So if you are on the west side and near Hillsborough, it will be near you. And the information will be available at the next Guild meeting as far as where it is, and it will also be in the members only section of the website. If you're interested in hosting in your area, which you would get first dibs of all of the amazingness that comes in on the free table, please email the Guild and we can see about having you be a host. Basically, you just have to open up your garage or a covered porch, or if you have a tent that you could kind of, make sure that the fabric doesn't get wet, and be available for the weekend to make sure that things don't get, too out of hand with, as you can see, the table gets a bit messy. So next slide. So Charity Sew drop off and pickup will be Saturday, September 27th from 10 to 1. The address can be found on the members only section of the website. And I just wanted to let people know, please do not drop off free table things. Since it is canceled for February, we would have to find a place to store it all. So please, if you have items for the free table, please wait until the 27th. Yeah, I'm sorry, did I say September? I meant February. Yeah, February 27th. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Okay, next slide. And I just wanted to say, good job, everybody, on charity quilts this last month. We donated 41 completed, like quilted, bound, completed. They went to Dornbecker Pmqg in January. And this is what 41 quilts look like, all in IKEA bags. And I mean, that is just amazing. That's, a huge number of completed quilts. So good job, everybody. Keep working. And I know that the kids there really appreciate it. So our charity zipper bag program is back. And there are kits available. Marianne has them, and she has let us put her address and her phone number in the members only section. And she just asks that you please text before coming to make sure that she still has kits. And she said that Mondays would be the best days for her. We do need some donations for this program. We need zippers that are about 9 inches or longer. We need some gallon-sized freezer bags to put the zipper bag kits in, and fabric that is about 1/2 yard or more. And basically these zipper bags go to Portland Homeless Family Solutions, and they fill them with shampoos and toothpaste and toothbrushes and distribute them to people in need. The block of the month, whoever is participating should have gotten their February pattern. If you have not signed up and you were thinking about it, please use the coupon code Pmqg 2021 for a discount. Make sure that you are posting your progress using these hashtags that are listed here. They're also listed in the pattern. And we will be randomly drawing a winner from all of the posts to win a little prize for posting and helping to build community. Okay, next. I'm gonna start my video and cross my fingers that my internet doesn't go out. Okay, so stickers are available. I don't know, Erin, if you can highlight my, my view. I don't know if you can see me or not. I'm holding up a sticker.
Yeah, I
No.
can't while I'm sharing the screen, but as long as you're talking, we should be able to see you.
Okay, so these are what the stickers look like. They are super, super cool. You can kind of see that they, you know, they have a little shine to them. They're on sale now. They're $4 a piece, and the proceeds will go to our scholarship funds. And also we are working really hard to keep the cost of our workshops low this year. And so the sales of these stickers will help to fund that. So there's only a few left. So I suggest going on to the Pmqg shop and picking yours up sooner rather than later, because once they sell out, they will be sold out. Okay, next slide. So volunteers, we need volunteers to help with our financial audit. So basically every year we need to go through last year's finances and audit 1 month just to make sure that everything is, you know, there's no funny business going on. And we need it to be a person who was not on the board last year. And, you know, somebody that would be just willing to spend an hour or two with Angel via Zoom. So this would be great for somebody who might be a member out of town to kind of just go through the books and check over receipts. I see that Angel is saying that it's super easy. It's probably really easy. And, you know, I will say that volunteering is a great way to get to know your fellow guild members. We are a very large guild, and I know from experience, because I'm newer, that I didn't really know too many people until I started volunteering and got involved with the guild. So I highly encourage you to volunteer. And also, if you do not want to help with okay, so I see somebody asking how to sign up to volunteer. You can email the guild, or a couple of weeks ago, we sent out an email that had a form that you could fill out for if you wanted to volunteer. You could kind of put some ideas of what sorts of things you would like to do for the guild. And that form will go out in the meeting recap, which should go out on, I believe, Monday. So please fill that out if you're looking to volunteer, and we will get you set up with helping us out with something. Okay, next slide. And then Erin, do you want to talk about your classified?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I don't know why I'm waving. I don't have my video on. Anyway, so I have this quilting frame that I got from a fellow guild member last year. It is a 10-foot wide quilting frame that you use with a domestic machine. It is an Inspira quilting frame that's meant to work with a FAF machine, but I do not have a FAF machine. I have a Juki. And I bought this Grace Company speed control to make it work, so it would be like a long arm. And I recently purchased a long arm from another fellow guild member, and so I'm looking for this to have a new home. It is currently disassembled and ready to go live in your home. So if you're interested, I am not asking any money for this. Contact me either via my email address up here, or you can email the guild and I will see it there as well. So if you're interested, it's 10 feet. It has everything that you see here. It's got a little laser thing that you can do a pantograph with. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay, so we are going to do our business member spotlight for the month. And this month we are highlighting business member Tammy Booth of Portland Quilt Supply. Could I see the next slide, please? So Portland Quilt Supply is an online quilt shop that's located on the Outer East Side of Portland. Tammy specializes in showcasing local artists, so fabrics and patterns from PDX. So she also supports long arm artists with a directory on her Facebook page for artists that are local to the Portland area. And members can receive 20% off their first order with a code, and that code can be found in the members only section of our website. She has local pickup available, but I will say I ordered something and chose shipping, and it was like seriously less than 24 hours via US mail. It got to my house. It was crazy. I was just like, oh my God. So Portland Quilt Supply, thank you so much for being a business member. Check out her website and follow her on Instagram. And I will put her website, let's see, in the chat really quick for everybody. She also has a really fun Facebook page where you can show projects. Okay, next slide. So we are ready for show and tell. So we watch the chat and I will let you know when you are coming up next. Okay, so the first quilt is mine, and it is my completed looper quilt, which I completed a while ago, but it just kind of sat around and was not quilted. And I finally quilted it with my new favorite pantograph, this Raindrops on Water. And I love the swirliness, and I used a wool batting, which, I mean, the quilting is just lovely on it. And the pattern is, I believe I said Looper Quilts by Miss Make. Okay, so I'm sorry, I was talking and I didn't let you know, Tamara, that you're next. Is Tamara?
Okay, sorry, I can't turn my camera on because I'm eating, but so this is my quilt, Just Calm Down. And it is dedicated to Nancy Pelosi. You can see her there in the corner with her famous red coat and throwing up the pieces of Trump's State of the Union speech. I don't hate Nancy Pelosi, but I was very impressed by her telling a journalist back in April of 2020 that she knew what she was doing. She was going to get us more money and we should all just calm down. And that, of course, is over a background of things that have happened since that time. And we still haven't received any more money, although I guess some of us did get some late last year. So that's it. That's what my quilt's about.
Thank you. So.
Hi, everybody. This is my quilt. It's the Sienna Burst quilt by Pmqg. I created this using some fabric that I bought at QuiltCon last year, which seems like it was a billion years ago. And yeah, so I pieced it pretty quickly over the summer, and then I handed off to my long armor, who then quilted this pantograph that she got through a long arm business group that she's a part of, and it is it's supposed to be RBG's Descent collar, and when I saw it on somebody else's quilt, I fell in love with it and asked Chris to put it on my quilt. And that's it.
Hello, this is my vintage 9 patch. So I love working with vintage fabrics. I didn't know that Trisha used them so much. I know Susan Beal uses them a lot too. So I find a lot of mine at Goodwill and I buy whole sheets. And then I also order from Kelly at Vintage Fabric Studio a lot for other found vintage fabrics. And I, at the top, made kind of solidish color into a rainbow at the top, and then each block is also individually a rainbow. The back is a whole vintage sheet, and the border binding is also vintage fabric. So I really love working with vintage and it's super fun. Thanks a lot.
Emily, are you available?
Yes, sorry. Let me turn on my camera. Okay. Hi, this is my quilt. This is another Then Came June. I made this for my girlfriend who's getting married. And I was really excited to play with lots of prints. I'm very new to quilting. This is my third quilt. So I'm just learning, and I love her patterns and how beautifully modern and vintage mashup they look together. So yeah.
Tammy, are you available?
Yes. This is not quilted yet, but I did my very first long arm quilt. I took a Saturday workshop class with Elvira Gaskins from the Clark County Quilters in Vancouver. It was a virtual Zoom one. Unfortunately, my Wi-Fi wasn't working, so I wasn't on too much, but she had sent us videos from Nancy Wolfsema on YouTube, and I could put the link in the chat, and it was super easy to do. So it is really not as difficult to make a Lone Star as I thought. And the background fabric was a digital sky ombre from Jennifer Sampo. I didn't like how I did my seams in the little skinny border because I didn't have too much of the fabric left. So I do have leftover textile paint. So I think I'm just gonna brush a little bit on to smooth out that join. But anyway, I was just pretty excited about the very first Lone Star that I have ever pieced.
Claudia?
Oh, how are you? This is Claudia. I took the watercolor class, the first class for watercolors, and I did them in Pittsburgh colors because I'm originally from Pittsburgh. So I actually finished it, and it took me about a month and a half to photograph it, but I finished it, and there it is. It's all finished. It's great. And then the second quilt I have is a small quilt. It's only 20 by 20 inches. It was a quilt challenge from Metropolitan Patchwork Society, a challenge for 2020. 20 minutes, you had to choose 20 fabrics to make a quilt using all 20 fabrics, no more, no less, and had to be 20 inches by 20 inches. So I had a UFO of these wonderful Dresden plates that I didn't know what to do with, and they were wonderful rainbows and bright and cheery. And then I took the strip piecing from the retreat last fall and kind of put those together and used a lot of my fabric choices in the background, making the background looking all scrappy and getting my numbers in there. And I was just happy. It was something a little cheerful to remind me 2020, not what everybody else thinks. And that's all I had. Thank you so much.
Hi, I took a workshop in January, and it was from Cluck Cluck Sew, and it were these little happy hearts, and I had a light pink background with little hearts of different colors, so I used a variegated thread to quilt it with that matched those little hearts. That's it.
Hi, everybody. This is Beth. This is a quilt I began with Joe Cunningham and Sisters Oregon. Most of the blocks have some sort of Kaufman Railroad denim. So to finish it off and tie it all together, I pieced in a railroad track. That's it. Thank you.
Is Marianne here? I didn't see you in the chat. Erin, did Marianne give a description of these quilts?
She did, but because I'm screen sharing, I can't see it, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
She submitted, that's okay. She submitted 3 quilts. 2 of them are portrait quilts. This first one is Joe. And then the second one is Sully. And then the final one is fires. And I'm guessing that this is a way that she's processing the fires that we had over the summer.
Marika, I can see that you're here.
Hi. So my niece is having a baby this spring, and they live out in Eastern Oregon in Enterprise, and so we went out in the fall, and my sister-in-law had a little gender reveal party for her, no fireworks, and there's a little quilt shop in Enterprise, so I picked up a few of the fabrics there and then came home and made this. She has a super minimalist style, so I just did half square triangles interspersed with full squares, and yeah, gonna get this in the mail in a couple of days.
Susan.
Hi, I started this quilt in 2012 in a workshop with Denise Schmidt at Pmqg, at PNCA, and loved making the blocks. It was a Schumann's puzzle, improvised piecing, like taking a traditional pattern and changing it. And so I made 32 of these like single ray, triangles, and I loved the process. And Denise Schmidt is like a hero. So it was like this magical weekend. And then they sat there for 8 years. And last January, I was like, I am going to finish some of these quilts. I have taken so many classes and just not finished them. And so I sat down with these 32 blocks and turned them into 8 mega windmills. And then I thought, like, why not just blow this up into a bed quilt? So I added this really bright green that I just loved, even though it's a little much. But hey, just live a little sometimes. And my daughter named it when she first saw it. Wow, it's really green. So Nancy Stovall quilted it so beautifully with a geometric, almost like a lily pad feel repeat that really echoed the windmills. And it's a bed quilt. My husband's holding it in that picture. He's 6'6", so maybe gives you an idea of the scale. But it was such a joyful project, even though it took quite the better part of a decade to do. And it's wool batting too, as someone just mentioned earlier. It's so cozy. So anyway, just a long time coming, but a really fun one. So I hope it inspires you to pick up a stack of dusty blocks and turn them into something too. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jill Schultz. I'm a new member from Minneapolis, and I'm also a member of the Minneapolis Modern Quilt Guild. And so my quilt Rainbow Bars is, it was a polka dot challenge that the Minneapolis Modern Quilt Guild did for February, where you just had to make something with polka dots. And I got a charm pack of rainbow konas from my secret pal over the holidays. And so I decided to combine those with some polka dot fabrics that I had been collecting for, I guess, this reason, because I just was collecting them, didn't know what I was going to do with them. So made them into kind of a rainbow sequence with some black, and being in chilly Minnesota where we have snow cover for so long, it's always nice to have bright, refreshing color for the eyes. So took a picture of it in the snow.
Marcy.
Hello. This was my, everybody this year was doing scrappy squares during the summer, but Portland's not that nice during the winter. So the summer I was outside and I did this in the fall. And this is just all 5-inch squares, 9-patch. Trying to use up all my scrap, and I barely made a dent in it. Thank you.
Thanks to everybody who shared their quilts for show and tell. So this wraps up our meeting. I just wanted to leave you with a summary of the important dates coming up. So we will be returning to our third Thursday of the month for March. So March 18th, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Sandra Johnson will be our featured speaker. We have the workshop on Saturday with Trisha Royal. It's sold out, but I highly encourage you to sign up for the wait list so you can find out when it gets rescheduled. And then February 13th, the scholarships for Sandra Johnson's classes close. So if you would like to apply for a scholarship, please do so now. February 15th, Sandra Johnson's workshops will go on sale. Sisters, the deadline to submit a quilt is going to be the 30th of April. And I wanted to remind everybody that the free table is canceled this month, but look for it in March on the west side in Hillsborough. Charity Quilts is on February 27th. And we have our special Quilter Filter labeling event on the 11th. So check your mail for your Pmqg quilt label to come. And I think with that, we will keep the meeting open. If people want to turn off their video and stick around and chat, you are welcome to do so.